Hello and welcome back to One Way Designs 238. If this is your first time, I would like to say hello and welcome to you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming. So let's jump right into today's project. The month of March is Crafters Month. So happy Crafters Month to you guys. And in celebration, today is our Farmhouse edition. So let's jump right into these projects. I'm taking these two frames that I have purchased from the Dollar Tree, as you see, and I am taking the artwork and I'm removing them from those particle board pieces. If you don't want to remove the paper, feel free to paint over them. Once the particle board has been prepared, I'm just going to bring in some needle nose pliers and remove these metal tabs that are used to hold the artwork in place. So once I have done this to both of my frames, I am going to go ahead and take these particle board pieces and glue them how they need to be glued. Now, one of them, I need the frame itself to be facing upside down. So the back of the frame needs to be facing up. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the bare or the clean face or side of that particle board facing up in the bottom of that frame. And the second frame, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the frame itself facing upright, but I'm going to take that clean slate, that clean face of the particle board, and I'm going to glue that facing right side. Just like so. And once I have glued these into place, I'm just going to go ahead and take a nice bead of glue between the seams where they meet, and that gives us just a bit more extra security. This is what it looks like when both pieces are complete. Now I'm going to bring in these wooden planks from the Dollar Tree, and these do come in packs of 6. These are by Crafters Square. I'm only going to be using 5. So I'm going to bring in my Waverly white chalk paint, and I am going to give a nice even coat of paint to 5 of these planks. Now, be sure that when you paint the front, to be sure that you get those nice skinny sides as well, so that nothing looks incomplete. It's just my turn, but we can still have fun for now. I do enjoy using the Waverly chalk paint because it does give really, really great coverage. So with this being Crafters Month, down in the comment section, please let me know what your favorite types of crafts are. Is it farmhouse? Is it glam? Is it boho, modern farmhouse? Do you like glass? Do you like paper? You know, what kind of projects do you like? Let me know down in the comment section. So once those white slates or planks have been painted, I'm going to set them aside to dry. And now I'm going to bring my frames back into play, and I am going to distress them by doing the dry brush technique. And this is exactly what it is, what it says. Taking a dry paint brush, dipping into some paint, removing most of that paint, and then just distressing until I'm happy with it. Now, looking back in hindsight, you will hear me say this a couple of times. Looking back in hindsight, these particular frames, I thought they were raw wood, but they are not. They do have a shiny coat on them. So if you're going to paint these or use them for any project, I do humbly suggest that you go ahead and give them a nice sanding down so that your paint or your adhesives will adhere to them much better. Once I am finished doing the distressing with the paint in this dry brushing technique, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Mod Podge, and this is going to seal it so that we don't have any scratches, because again, with that clear coat, that shiny stuff that's on the frames, that acrylic paint will really scratch off really easily. So again, you guys, this is Happy Crafters Month. So I wanted to spotlight, highlight, shout out 3 ladies who I really do enjoy watching. They are more of the farmhouse types of crafters, but hey, I love watching them just to learn new techniques. And those 3 individuals are Aneka from Craft, Eat, and Repeat, Dee from She's So Crafty, and Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe's DIYs. You guys, please go check these ladies out. If farmhouse is not your field, I promise you'll still enjoy their techniques and some of the projects that they do. Also, let them know that I sent you to them. So now I'm going to bring in these craft sticks, popsicle sticks, whatever you like to call them. Tongue depressors for all I care. But anyway, I'm going to take these craft sticks. I'm going to paint these with some of that same brown acrylic paint that I use to do the dry brushing technique. And I'm going to do a few of these and give them, again, a nice coat of paint. Once the paint is dry, I'm going to cut these down into individual pieces. And this is going to allow me to do something in just a minute. And I'm glad I thought of it because it really added another dimension to the project. All right, all of our elements have been completed, so now it's time to assemble this project. I'm going to start off by taking that bottom piece, which is with the foundation of our piece. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a foundation of hot glue as well as the Fix All adhesive. And I am going to put this in our bottom piece. And the bottom piece, you guys, is the frame that is facing upright. I'm going to glue in my 2 sides, just like so, with the painted side facing inward. Now, if you want to paint both sides, you can also do that as well. Now I'm going to take my 3 leftover pieces, 3 planks that is, and I'm going to go ahead and glue those on one side, just as you see me doing. I have my 2 outer pieces meeting to form a corner. And then I'm just going to have that one in the middle spaced out evenly to give me a nice even spaces on either side. So again, you see I have my 2 corners, and then I'm going to take that last final piece and I'm going to space it evenly in the middle to create 2 even spaces on either side. Again, looking back in hindsight, right here at this point, I wish that I had have taken my staple gun and just gave a couple of staples to each plank. It'll make it much easier when you go to assemble this. So I've taken the top and now I have put it on the top of those planks. You're going to have to work with it a little bit to make it do what it do, to make it fit. But once it fits in, you can glue everything together and make sure that everything is nice and cohesive. Now, to give this some more support at the bottom, I'm going to take 4 of these tumbling tower pieces and I'm just going to glue these in the corners on the bottom.
Despite the commitment you think you've secured,
and there goes our little shelf. So you see these spaces that we have in the back. This is where our little pieces of craft sticks that have been painted come into play. I am just going to put glue on either side and then just glue them going up the space so that we have that another element of that brown peeping through those spaces. So just to let you know as well, on the top, if you want to paint that or use decorative paper, the choice is completely yours. Take this idea and make it customizable, as I always say, to your decor or your taste. So here's what it looks like complete, but I'm gonna show you what it looks like decorated at the very end. So moving on to project number 2, I'm going to start off with these wooden squares from Crafter Square from the Dollar Tree. I have this particular piece of, I think it's like tabletop decor, and I'm going to remove the star in the middle because they do come with like stars, they come with hearts, and they also come with clouds on the top. But anyway, that's neither here or there. So I'm going to remove that piece of art, or that, I call it tag. And once that's removed, I'm going to bring in some sandpaper, and I'm going to sand down the 4 sides because it has these little stars painted on it.
Show her your power, that you be just fine without her, and you'll be her favorite man. She doesn't want someone who she can control, and she doesn't want someone to stare in her soul. But if you can.
Now, once all 4 sides have been sanded, I'm going to wipe away the sand dust, and let's move on to the next portion of this. So now I'm going to take these 4 wooden squares, wooden sheets that is, from the Dollar Tree, and these are from the Crafter Square section. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these together, forming a box. And to be sure that my corner is nice and razor sharp and that the sides are nice and level, I'm just going to bring in a picture frame. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue the second 2, making another corner. So once I have both pieces, now it is time to make one piece by adhering the 2 to make one. Oh, you guys, I'm so glad to have my hot glue gun back. That black and green one, it was like a malfunction going on with that thing. It just wouldn't do right. So I had to take it back, and I ended up getting the one I like, which is the white one. I just love that thing. But anyway. So once this box is complete, I'm going to go ahead and glue my wooden box that I've just made onto the square piece of artwork or tabletop decor that we just took the star off the top and we sanded down those sides. Be sure that you are eyeing everything very nicely so that everything is nice and aligned. But if it doesn't come out just exactly aligned, that is all right, as long as you've got it pretty close, because we're going to use some decorativeness, if that's a word, to cover that up anyway. So I've got these 2 pieces attached, and again, I'm going to bring in my white Waverly chalk paint. That's a tongue tire, y'all, twister. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give a nice coat to all 4 sides. Now, I bet this project will be really, really nice in like that elephant gray or like a slate gray. You know, the limits are endless. Now, not only am I going to paint the front of these wooden pieces, but I'm going to also paint the thin top with the thin edge, and I'm also going to paint just a little bit of the inside lip of those. Just so that when we put our decoration on the inside, you won't just see wood, but you'll see the white. So once that's done, setting it aside to dry, I'm going to bring in some of these crafting sticks again. And this time I'm going to use the antique wax. Now this is not by Waverly, but it's by Folk Art. And you guys, I must say I was thoroughly impressed with how it took on the wood, and how the wood took it on, and how the grain of the wood was really showing through. So I needed 8 of these. And again, I am painting the sides as well as the front. Now, to get these down to size, what I am going to do is I have cut one of my craft sticks, the bottom off, very nice and straight, one end of the rounded curve, that is. Then I'm just going to measure it against the project, cut it, and then I'll just make the others follow suit. So once all 8 of my craft sticks have been cut down to size, I'm going to go ahead and glue 2 of them per corner. I'm just using my Surebonder hot glue, but if you want to use a more permanent adhesive, feel free to do so. So once all 4 of those corners have been glued, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of this nautical rope. It's the thinner nautical rope. And what I'm going to do is start at the back, and I'm just going to glue this from the bottom going up. Now, to start it, I'm going to take this rope, as you see, and I have cut it at a diagonal. I'm adding a bit of hot glue to the end so that it does not start unraveling. Starting at the bottom, in the middle of the side that I'm choosing to be the back, I am just going to go ahead and start with this rope, and I'm just going to start gluing it all the way around. Now, when you get to the corners, be sure that you are very firm when applying pressure to the corners with the glue. See how I get to that corner, and I'm applying a great deal of pressure so that the rope does not just kind of flex up on us. Now I've gotten back to my starting point. Now once you get back to the starting point, you can always cut this and glue it down and then go and do your individual rows like so. I'm not doing that. What I'm going to do is I am going to very forcibly take that rope and make it overlay to where it's nice and tight, because we don't want any spaces. We don't want this to look sloppy. We want it to look nice and clean. So once that is done, you guys, I started to use these rubber transfers from Dollar Tree. It didn't work out so well. I don't know what in the heck I did wrong. Maybe I didn't wait long enough for the paint to dry. I have no idea. So at that point, I was over it with the rubber transfers. So I said, forget it. I had 4 white wooden beads, and all I did was just take those and glue them to the corners just to give them feet, give this particular project little feet. To decorate the inside, I'm just taking some boxwood greenery that I purchased from Walmart for like 98 cents. I'm also taking some of this white, I think it's called wheatgrass. I didn't know what it was called. I just liked it because it was nice and pretty. I'm just going to tuck some of that in. I'm not cutting any of these stems, you guys. I'm just bending them, sticking them in there, and making them fit how I want. Also putting some succulents in, but you can take this and put whatever you would like on the inside. So here are both of our farmhouse projects. I think they turned out really, really nice, you guys. I'm very, very pleased. You can take that first project and you can use it to store your craft items. You can use it in your kitchen for spices. Hey, you could even put it in the bathroom to use for toothbrushes, toothpaste, you know, whatever. It turned out nicer than I thought it would. The second project, it turned out really nice too. I'm very happy with how these turned out, you guys. So again, happy Crafters Month to you guys. If you are a crafter, please do not put yourself in a box. Don't limit yourself to a box. Explore all the different kinds of crafts because you never know what you will like and what you will enjoy. So as always, my prayer for you guys is that you stay happy and that you stay healthy and that you stay blessed. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. And until next time, be richly blessed in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.